I think a great myth in our society is that this stuff is bad for kids. This stuff is bad for all of us. We've got to keep it away from men. We've got to keep it away from women.
It degrades women. It degrades humanity. You know, we as human beings with the body and soul, we're not created for the cesspool of pornography.
If we allow pornography to turn women into objects, then no one will have to deal with us as people. Because when you turn someone else into an object, then you can treat them any way you want. You don't have to be aware of their value as a human being. I mean, that's the basis of slavery. It's the basis of the Nazi atrocities, when you turn people into objects.
People say, well, you can't form the link between the use of pornography and sex offenses. But we also know that it is very common to find those people who are involved in aberrant sexual behavior and involved in sexual criminal behavior to have pornography and obscenity in their possession.
Pornography has such an impact on young minds. Certainly parents of young children should be very concerned. I just think parents need to be very aware of the impact of media on the minds of their children.
Personally, I answered it when I was on the internet one time. This was supposed to be a teen chat room, and somebody asked me did I want to have cyber sex. And so things like that make me feel uncomfortable, and I'm sure it makes my peers feel very uncomfortable when they're faced with pornography day in and day out.
Kids have a hard time separating right from wrong anyhow, and if we're showing them wrong in an open forum, how can we blame them for wanting to try or do these things?
It's a very, very damaging influence on children, and it's very hard to bring them back to a normal childhood because they've experienced things that are so harmful, so hurtful to their general health and behavior in growing up.
There's no doubt in my mind pornography has a very detrimental effect on society, and how we can accept that and allow it to proliferate our society, I can't understand that.
America is a great nation. We love God. It says on the coins, in God we trust. But I'm wondering, is it in God that we really trust?
Make the decision to make it a better place. Make the decision to stand up and say, you know what, that might sell. That might bring some more viewers, but that's wrong.
Downtown Cincinnati in the 50s and 60s was not a pretty place.
There were sexually oriented businesses such as bookstores, the Gaiety Burlesque, an X-rated movie house up around the Mohawk area.
I remember that, and I remember that at nighttime downtown Cincinnati was not a place that you would want to be, and you wouldn't take your family there on a bet.
I ascertained at that time we had 11 adult bookstores, we had 6 adult movie houses, we had several massage parlors, which were houses of prostitution. Plus we had a warehouse out in Blue Ash that was a major distributor of pornography in a multi-state area. I recognized, boy, we got a problem, and we got a major problem. And we started a drive to clean up Cincinnati.
Newport always had these strip bars, always had a Cinemax as far as I could remember. Most people in the county didn't like it, but it was one of those things that people just thought it's always there and it's always going to be there. I think when you have those type of businesses in a community, it shows that there's a problem with the community itself.
As we got into it, we became very proficient. What we learned by the processes that we use is you got to stay on them, you got to continually prosecute them, and we eventually got rid of all the bookstores, all the massage parlors, and the adult movie houses, plus that warehouse.
We made the first raid on Cinemax in April of 1980, did another one in June of 1980, went across the street to the bookstore, did them a couple times in 1980, charged the bookstore, and the owner, Sammy Wright, was well-known Newport figure at the time, and just started from there.
It took 30 years to really get to where we're at now, and it's not a secret. It's citizen involvement, it's strong law enforcement, it's dedicated elected officials, and with that combination, any city can clean up the urban blight.